Scott there. Well, we're almost ready for our second half. It's England 10, Australia 0. Let's get back to the commentary team. Here's Jonathan Doidge and Andrew Henderson.
Thanks, Nat. Yes, the players making their way back out onto the field and here at the Headingley Carnegie. It's been a fantastic festival of World Cups that we've seen during the last couple of weeks, and aside from the three finals that we've had here at Headingley today, also a couple took place yesterday at Medway. The wheelchair final went the way of France. They beat England in an absolute thriller by 42 points to 40. Australia beat New Zealand 32-22 in the Armed Forces final at Colchester. They're the official world champions of Armed Forces Rugby League now. And then 2 wins for the Aussies preceding this game today. The Police, as you've seen, Australia beating Fiji 18-16 in another really taut, tense encounter, and then some tremendous skills on show for the women's final, where Australia emerged as 22-12 victors against the Kiwis, the holders. So 2 holders already beaten today. Australia hold the current Student Rugby League World Cup. England have never won it, but they lead by 10 points to 0 as we get the second half underway then with skipper Mark Wilson. And it'll be interesting to see, Hendo, if as play wears on, if England are still in front, if maybe a few nerves creep into things for this England side, because of course the magnitude of this can't really be underestimated, or overestimated I should say, can it?
No, it's a World Cup final at the end of the day, you know, and no matter what level it's played at, it's a huge game, it's a huge occasion for those that are playing, and England will be aware that this is a great opportunity for them to write some history and be the first side to win a World Cup. So for these sort of players, it could be a special group of players here today to win their first Student World Cup for England. But again, they've got a long way to do it. I mean, so far they've been the better of the 2 sides, and hopefully for England's point of view, they can perform possibly a little bit better than they did in the first half and come away with victory. But Matt Holmes, here he goes, charging forward. Geez, I'll tell you what, he's worked hard for today for Australia, the prop forward.
And England defending again as they were for much of that final 10-15 minutes of the first half. The tackle was by Williamson there on Nathan Lowry, one of the Aussie interchanges, and now it's with Gavin. He's got the short ball away to Wonka, who's trying to spin in the tackle, get away from a couple of men, but can't do so. 10 metres out to Australia. We've seen him in his position at the other end of the field so often towards the end of the first half there. Gavin to Bruce, but he can't find a way through. He's got the offload there to Lowry once again. Nathan Lowry towards the posts.
They're in trouble on this right side. Spacing's not good here for England.
Big chance here for Australia. Gavin, the ball is there to number 12 for Christian Wonka, and Wonka is across the line for Australia for their first try of the game, his 3rd of the tournament, and it's England 10, Australia 4.
Yeah, great try there from Australia. I think it was a standoff. Michael Gavin, he bossed the ball. He could see there was space and there was numbers. The Aussies certainly had. I just called it before. They looked in trouble on the right side. England just didn't get the numbers there. They didn't get their spacing and adjustments right. And all Gavin has to do is pretty simple play. He takes the ball to the line, and then he just hits Wonka, who just runs a great line into space there. He leaves the England defender, not sure who it was out there out wide, in 2 minds. Atkin, he doesn't know, does he go out, does he come in? He knows his numbers outside him. Well was coached that you've just got to deal with the threat that's in front of you at the moment. There's no point worrying about what's outside you. If you haven't got the numbers, you just got to close what's in front of you. And Atkin just got caught. He hesitated, got caught a little bit of no man's land. Do I stay out to go for the outside man? Do I come back? And it was too late to come back and close the play. And it was a simple play. Gavin going to the line, short ball there to Wonka. And I'd like to see the Australian halfbacks take the ball to the line a little bit more. You know, I think sometimes a lot of their plays have been a little bit early and a little bit away from the line, and it's made it pretty easy for the England goal line defence to handle. If they sort of take the ball to the line a little bit more with some blokes running some good lines, often they might have an opportunity of creating some more openings and creating space. But England will be disappointed, John, with that start.
Christian Wonka then might just have bought Australia a green and golden ticket to get themselves back into this World Student Rugby League final. Cameron Bruce for the conversion here. You love that one, don't you?
One of your best, Jonathan.
Here's Bruce then with the right boot. 2 more points for Australia. They reduce the deficit to 4 then. Australia 6, England 10. Christian Wonka, well, apart from that famous name, of course, of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory days. Been playing rugby league since he was 4 years of age, spent 14 years at the Chinchilla Bulldogs, and then moved to Brisbane in 2009 to go to university. He's been playing for the Wynnum Seagulls under 20s in the Queensland Cup last couple of seasons. So good credentials, Christian Wonka, and he scored a try for Australia to get him right back in this game now.
Good carry then again from Holmes. Yeah, he's been good, the Aussie prop, I think, for them. He's worked hard going forward. Anderson now, and you can just see now there's a little bit of play too, and they're almost at the halfway line. There's a bit of a spring in their step now, the Aussies, as they've got those posted their first points. It's important now for England, though, Jonathan, as Gavin makes a half break. It's important now that England don't go to their shell. Now, they've been the better of the two teams. Don't get me wrong, they've put a lot of pressure on themselves by being a little bit ill-disciplined and giving away some penalties, but they've stood strong, they've worked well together. It's important now that they don't stop believing in what they're doing, because they're capable of winning this cup final today.
So it's Gavin for Australia. Narrowly behind in this one. The ball is to Bruce once again. Last tackle, said referee Jamie Bloom. He's hung one up here.
Play on.
Causing problems at the back.
Try.
A second Australian try then goes the way of Gary Warburton. He's going to check with the touch judges, but he's going to award the try, Jamie Bloom. And Warburton hits back once again for Australia. Levels you Devils. England 10, Australia 10.
Yeah, great stuff there. It all started from Big Matt Holmes, the prop forward off the kickoff. He'd done a great carry that put Australia on the front foot. Anderson gets out and gets another quick play of the ball. They march down the field easy. They get to last play, and Bruce gets the ball in hand. He's always shot the high kick. And again, you put it up high, and you've got good kick chase team, which Australia had there. Gavin, the winger, going up and competing for the football against Rossi. He out-jumps him, knocks the ball back, and Warburton backing up on the inside there on the kick chase team. Finishes the play off. Great work. Gavin gets up there, gets over the top of Rossi, pats it down. Warburton collects and finishes a good try for Australia. But again, for me, it all started from that first carry from Holmes, the big prop. Got him on the front foot, and the rest of the set took care of itself. They rolled down the hill, Last play, Bruce. Good attacking kick there, high in the air. Great chase from the kick chase team. And well competed from Gavin, who knocks it back there for Warburton, the back rower, who, to be fair, if anyone deserves a try, probably he does. He's been a real menace and a threat on that left edge for the Australians, a real go-to man, certainly in that first half.
So the kick doing the damage for Australia early in this second half. 2 tries in 3 minutes. And it's Cameron Bruce to try and give Australia, the holders, the lead for the first time in this game. And he makes no mistake. Australia hit the front then. First time they lead by 12 points to 10.
And all of a sudden, for the first time in this game, England find themselves behind on the scoreboard. And this is going to be a big challenge for them now. They've had a very, very good first half. And they've come out and they've just been hit with a whirlwind.
So the Aussies then. 2 points that are good with Holmes once again with that first carry back towards the British defence. What have they got left in those legs? It was a tough semi-final, of course, on Friday night. Alluded to that one earlier. 18 points to 17. England had to beat New Zealand in golden point extra time to be here today in the final. Australia, well, they breezed through 42 points to 10 against Wales at Dewsbury on Friday night, and they're in possession. It's with Lowry. It's the way then to Gavin, who, as is his wont, he likes to show it out the right-hand side in particular and then step off the right foot, but maybe England are wise to that one. Certainly good defence by Hines on this occasion. Here's the most recent try scorer, Gary Warburton, then for Australia. Last tackle of this set. Well, they go to the skies once again. Here's Bruce. He looks like he's going to do so, and this one's going to test England at the back then.
Great take.
And it was Mark Wilson, England's skipper, putting up a captain's effort there to do so.
Good work as he makes a break on the outside, Wilson. Oh, he's done well there, Wilson. Oh, hang on a second, touch judge is coming on. I don't know, I've got a feeling here that the winger, Gavin, from Australia was taken out whilst he was going to try and chase that bomb down. And we could see a penalty awarded to Australia here, which, again, England are the downfall of their own demise at the moment. You know, the back end of that first half, they gave away a lot of penalties, ill-discipline. They absorbed all that pressure fantastically well by defending their goal line. But they've come out early second half here and again gifted Australia the field position and possession and given them the opportunity. You know, the question is, Jonathan, will all this pressure that they're allowed to be built upon them take its toll come the back end of the game? We'll soon find out.
So Australia in possession once again, and with Lowry. All Australia so far in this second half. Gavin will take the pass and hand it on then to Mutton down this near side, the Australian right. England have got to muscle up now in defence. Here's Gavin, finds Bruce. The outside runner was Lowry once again. 15 metres to find here for Australia. The dummy half dashes from Bromilo. England just a little bit flat-footed there.
He's almost over there.
And danger signs here for the English side. Bromilo almost able to spin his way across the line. Bruce now to Gavin. He's got Norford coming into the line round the back. Well spotted though by 2-3 England defenders. They're headed up by Chris Atkin.
Will Collins
need him to come to the fore. Here's Gavin though. Support on the outside there is by Sheehan. A speculative offload though from Sheehan, and Australia have given the ball back to England, who can now start to think about ending this spell of pressure.
They're going to have to do it tough here, Jonathan, coming out of their own corner, 5 metres from their own line. It wasn't the worst outcome from the Aussies having it there, and as you can see the line speed now, there's a spring in the Australian step at the moment as they've hit the lead early in this second half, and some tough carries here for the England side. Barrett now trying to find some yards on the edge there.
Yeah, it's great line speed in this set of 6 from an Australian point of view. Wallace drives that next ball up, and England have made what, just about 22 metres perhaps in 5 tackles here. The kick will come in from Atkin. It's going to hang in the air, and it's comfortably taken.
Oh, knock on!
No, he's putting it down.
Wow.
It was Matt Waugh.
Yeah, Matt Waugh.
Commentator's nightmare.
I'll tell you something, England needed that. They needed that. They needed something like that. That's given them a sigh of relief. They had a tough set coming out their own yards there, making only 20-odd metres here. It wasn't the best kick from Atkin. He mishit it. And like I said, it just looked like it was going to get down the throat of Matt Waugh there, but
just looked comfortable, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, and he unfortunately just took his eyes off it. And
just at the same point as I took my eye off it,
yeah,
he did the same.
He did the same, and England needed this. They haven't had this field position for a while, so let's see if they can start to capitalise and build some pressure on the Australian line.
Here's Wilson then for England. Sheehan making the tackle there in the gold shirt. Wallace took the pass there from Alistair Leake, and it's Hines going in, acting half once again. Nice little spell from him since he came on the field. Here's Bowring for England. Of course, he left the field in the first half with that head injury, and as you can see, he's had a little bit of bandage applied to keep the brains in, perhaps.
Leak.
Here's Leake for England, stepping off the left and then off the right. Gets a nice little offload away there once again to Hines. Hines shrugging off one man. Stopped by a second and third. 5 metres to find for England. Wallace overruns that one, and here is England with Atkin. Stepping, tries a little mazy run, can't get through. Mutton making the tackle this time. England down the left-hand side, chance in the left-hand corner for Griffiths, and Billy Griffiths is going to get a try.
Oh!
Or is he? No, brilliant defensive effort by the Aussies.
Oh! That was unfortunate there. Great play from England.
And it was Mick Gavin who got under him and held him up there. It looked like Griffiths, for all the world, was going in for his second of the game. And Australia come away with a football, and that could be so vital in around about half an hour's time.
It was a great play. It was a last play option too. The ball went out to Wilson. He bossed it out there. You could see there was an opportunity, and Matt Waugh, the Australian winger, came in, got caught no man's land there, and he left his winger unmarked and gave a great opportunity for Griffiths to fall in, but great cover defence from the inside there, and the Australians managed to hold him up and again relieve the opportunities. Anderson now on this left edge makes a half break, and then cover defenders wrap him up.
England so close then to getting themselves back in front, but here is Damon for Australia, and as I mentioned before, he's scored 9 in the tournament so far, but hasn't had a sniff really. Credit to the England defensive effort for that one. Hanging kick is by Bruce, well taken by Wilson under a bit of pressure this time. That's probably just about the best high kick and chase pressure in the game so far.
Nice double effort there from Gavin, the standoff. Good marker play. He saw he was going to scoot. He just goes out and makes the tackle. Limits the yardage, and look at the line speed from the Australians now as Mutton flies out and chops his man down. Yeah,
palpable rise in enthusiasm from the Australian defence since they got in front here. 12-10 to the holders, and England struggling at the moment to get out of their own 20.
It's a great defensive effort from Australia. They've limited really England to 10 metres in 5 plays. And
Atkins' kick. That's going straight to Norford, who Takes it comfortably and runs it back towards halfway. What's the England chase like? It's not too bad, but maybe just a few yards short of what it might have been first half.
You just notice, Jonathan, now England, they're just starting to slowly, their contacts aren't as good as they were early in the game. They're just starting to slowly fall off a few tackles, and the Australian, certainly the outside backs, as we see now, I think there's that Sheehan going there, he gets his nose through, and, you know, they're just starting to, a bit more energy about them, the Australians. Oh, great play, good offload.
Must have gone forward, surely it was Darcy
he's going to score.
He's going to go in the corner. It's Matt Waugh who's touched the ball down in the right-hand corner. Jamie Bloom checks with his other touch judges, and he's going to award the try, and Waugh is in the right-hand corner. Now, to me, that looked a pretty suspect offload from Darcy Wright.
I thought it was fine, to be honest, Jonathan. I thought Darcy done well. He makes the initial line break, covered tackle comes over, he's got his arm free, he flicks it out the back door. For me, it goes backwards, it bounces around a little bit, and then it's picked up there by Waugh, who then, possibly forward,
Forward for line, forward.
Yeah, could have been. I mean, from where we were behind, up here, it didn't look too bad there, but from that angle we just saw there, possibly dubious, controversial anyway. But it's a fantastic finish from Matt Waugh. It was a good offload, but could have been a little bit controversial there, but a great finish from Matt Waugh, though. Nice little in and away there on Wilson, the fullback, and finishes nicely in the corner.
Matt Waugh, first try of the tournament for him. What a time to score. Former Union international for Hong Kong, of all countries, at under 16, under 18, under 20 and open age level. And used to play with the Burleigh Bears Junior Rugby League club, who I seem to recall gave Great Britain a real old tussle on a Tri-Nations tour some 10, 15 years ago.
Quite possibly. You've got a good memory if you remember that one. It's been a while, hasn't it, since we've had a GB tour. Bring them back, I say. Bring back Great Britain.
So Cameron Bruce just in from this near side, the Australian right-hand touchline. 16-10 they lead. This would just give them some sort of a cushion. Stadium goes almost silent. And he's pulled that one across the face of the post, so a little bit of respite on the board, I guess, for England, but they're still 6 behind here, and at the moment they've got a lot of work to do if they're going to pull this one out of the fire.
Yeah, but they're still in a good position. They're 16-10 down. There's still plenty of time. They can definitely get themselves back into this game. We've seen in the first half, when they play ball, they're a dangerous side. The problem is they're just, they've gifted away a lot of field position with their real discipline and given away penalties. They've invited Australia back into this game, I should say. And at the moment, they're just going to weather this storm. They need a good defensive set now off this kick-off, because the Australians have got their tails up. They're running with a bit more purpose. They're getting the quicker play of the balls. They're starting to get that roll on. They've got to quash this momentum somehow. And again, that comes through hard work and honesty amongst each other. And if they can work hard, try and slow this ruck down a little bit, get a bit of kick pressure on, start to get back into that arm wrestle as we talk about, get that field position back. And then, like I said, I've got confidence in England when they're attacking the line. As we just saw previously, they almost scored in the corner. They've just got to get themselves up into that attacking field position to give themselves a chance. But that'll only happen if they can stop this Australian roll.
Armo with the drive then for Australia, back out there on the field. Now Bruce gets it away to Warburton. Tackled on halfway. Still a nice breeze here at Headingley, but it must be very, very hot down there at pitch level. And England conceding a penalty. It was Nathan Britton who puts his hand up to accept responsibility there.
Yep. I think he might be. Is he going to go for goal here? Or is he going to go for touch? No, he's going for touch.
Opting to try and wind it up, put some more pressure on this England defence.
This is a big set for England now. They have to defend this set for me. Can't let the Australians score.
Here's Warburton then for Australia. And that 6-point advantage in enacting half-back. It's Bromilo. Gets it away then to Armo once again. Nice little run from Darcy Wright on the right shoulder.
Forward pass.
Forward pass.
It was a good contact from Britton too. He read the play well, as the man inside him had gone in and turned his body inside. So that's why Armo put the tip on play on, because he could see there was some space available there for Darcy Wright, and Britton covered his man on the inside there, who made the wrong read, and he jams in, covers the play up, but it's been adjudged a forward pass, so lucky for England there.
Have you been surprised with the skills and the qualities on offer in this student game, Hendo?
Yeah, it's been a great game, mate. I've really enjoyed it so far. I think it's been a great contest. The scoreboard obviously shows it's a close game, but we've seen some great skill. We've seen some fantastic, work in defence as well. Good contacts and line speed, and kicking games have been good. And yeah, it's been a great game. Some great young players and talent out on show today from both countries.
England are trying to get themselves firmly back into this contest.
40-20, is it?
By Atkin. It's a good kick by Atkin, waiting for.
Is it a 40-20? He kicked from inside the 40 there. This could be a massive play for England if it is. It is. That's what they needed. Now, this is really important there for England from their point of view. They don't have to score off this set. They've just got to get a good outcome to the set. Now, whether that means, like I said, getting a repeat, whether that means just putting the ball down immediately from the line and really burrowing up and defensively and trying to win that arm wrestle back and whatnot, because there's plenty of time on the clock. It doesn't have to be one now. They've just got to get back into that arm wrestle, start to get a bit of field position back. They've got a great opportunity now, have England. It was a great kick there again from young Atkin. He's been instrumental to a lot of the good play today for England.
He feeds the scrum, and the ball then finds its way to Will Collins. Up at left centre on the team sheet for England today. Hines at acting half, gets it away too small. Those powerful thighs driving in, taking those two Aussies back a couple of yards before they bring into ground 10 from the Aussie line. Chances now for England.
Good tackle, Australia there.
Certainly a message of intent from the Australian defence.
Warburton underneath there, picks up Barrett, drives him back into the ground.
Now it's with Leake. Gets it away.
Well read, Gavin. That's great. Great defence, Australia again. Getting off their line hard there, shuts the play down. Good defensive read from Gavin, the standoff.
Leake once more. Just overrun there by Will Collins, so has to go back and straighten up play. And here's Atkins, gets it away then to Sam Bowring. A little flick out the side door, found its way to Britain. England with a chance here.
Over!
Chris Atkin with the right.
Has he dropped it or has he scored it? I think he might have dropped this over the line.
Chris Atkin it was. He looked outside to his right. He stepped off the right foot. And how he would deserve a try if he got one for England, but it's been ruled out.
Yeah, I thought he'd lost it from here. Good play, Atkin. He goes, takes it. Yeah, he loses the football.
He's going to back a scrum down.
Takes the line on. He shows the dummy.
Atkin set things up, of course, with a 40-20, and how appropriate that would have been if it had got across for an England score to bring him right back into it in a kickable position.
Well, he'd done the hard work. He showed, he bumped the man off in front of him. And just as he was going over, the Australian defender managed to just do enough to knock his arm to lose the football as he was going to put the ball down. So, unlucky there for England.
And we're bang on 3/4 of the way through this one then.
You see Wallace, the prop, going off there, Jonathan. That's going to be a bit of a loss there for England. He's provided some good go forward for them today. Sam Williamson now coming in during the fray again. Wallace doesn't look too good there. I think he's clutching at something.
Yet, of course, England led 10-0 at half-time. Tries from Billy Griffiths and Alistair Leake in that first half. One goal by Chris Atkin, who's in possession now for England once again. Atkin gets it away to Collins. And England have straightened up play towards those Aussie posts again, pressing for a try that would bring them back into this one, having held that advantage. It's Leake stepping and dancing and trying to find his way through. 2-3 Australian defenders headed up there by Darcy Wright to envelop him just short of the line. Williamson comes on the crash ball, but in the end, a little scoop from dummy half to Hines, because Australia were on him so quickly as he picked that up at acting halfback. Here's Atkin once again. Little dink through from Atkin. This one's going to hold up, and Norfolk's going to have to play at this one at the back. But in the end, he did enough to usher the ball dead without getting a hand to it himself, and Australia relieved with a 20-minute tap restart.
It wasn't the right play from Atkin on that occasion, and to be fair, he needed more numbers out on his side. If the ball was coming out to him, he needed some more shape. You know, all the attacking players were on the right-hand side there. There was only Atkin. He only had the centre and the winger outside, so he had no real attacking options outside. And the Australians had it covered defensively, and he's obviously panicked there and thought, oh, I better put a kick in. It was early in the tackle count. He should have just took the tackle, and they should have just built towards the back end of the set. And that's what I talk about, getting to the end of sets and getting a good quality outcome. And on that occasion, you know, just lack a little bit of lack of composure there, which you need in big games if you're going to win them.
Shannon Norfolk then for the Aussies. leading 16-10 after, well, a whirlwind start to the second half, in particular 2 tries in the first 5 minutes from Christian Wonka and Gary Warburton, both goaled by Cameron Bruce.
Anderson still going. He's been strong on the left for Australia today. Anderson proved a real handful out there at times.
Bromilo at acting halfback, then to Bruce, who's going to hang another one up here. And this is a tester right on the England line.
Great take.
Beautiful take from Billy Griffiths.
He's adjudged to have taken it in the field of play, says referee Jamie Bloom. So that will mean it's a goal line dropout. And that's a fantastic outcome to an end to set there for Australia. Great kick from Bruce.
A second England dropout.
And he's adjudged to have, for the viewers at home there, when you catch the ball in the in goal on the full, it's generally a 20-metre restart. But if you've jumped from a foot from within the field of play and then take it whilst you're in air over the line, it is classed as being a line dropout.
Here's Al Mowler for Australia. Bounces off one man and makes a further 5-6 metres, lifting his side once again. Here's Bruce to Gavin. Support on the outside was by Mutton, but Gavin takes the tackle. No histrionics here from the Aussies, I'm sure. It's Bruce once more. Armo overruns the would-be pass, and in the end it's Gary Warburton who takes it and heads towards the posts, as he's been doing so often in the game so far. The dash from Bromilo from acting half. There's a chance here for Australia. And Casey Bromilo spins and turns and puts Australia in the clear here. It's the 4th Australian try of this second half. And Casey Bromilo, who came off the bench to score his 3rd try in the tournament so far, makes it Australia 20, England 10. Yeah, he's certainly been lively as Bromilo coming out of acting halfback, and this is where, you know, nippy hookers like Bromilo start to get the opportunities. When your team's on the front foot and they're going forward and they get you those quick play the balls, as a 9, you can start to get out and exploit the space in and around that ruck area, as we see there. He gets out. The England's defensive line isn't getting off the line as well as it should do. They stop, they start, and a great bit of strength too. He throws off 1 or 2. To be fair, he has no right to score that try, but because of his sheer determination, he knew as soon as he picked that football up, all he had one thing on his mind was, I'm going to score, I'm scoring here, and that's all he had on his mind. He runs with some pace and some gusto and some purpose, you know, bounces and rebounds out of a few tackles, and gets himself over the line. You know, good individual try from Bromilo, but you'd have to question the England defence there. You know, they should have dealt with that a lot better. Cameron Bruce then to try and add the extras and give Australia a 22 points to 10 lead if successful with this one. And that seems like a long, long way back for England to come in the final 15 minutes or so of this game. Bruce just taking his time. Gets into the crouch position once again. And not a problem for Cameron Bruce then, who gives the Aussies that 22 points to 10 lead. And no commentator in the history of sports commentary has ever said this one before, Hendo. Is it a game of 2 halves?
It's certainly looking that way at the moment, isn't it? But I think it's going to take something special for England to get themselves back into this match, to be honest. I think they've really lost control of the game. You know, Australia have just stepped up the tempo and the ante in this second half. Since getting those 2 early tries at the start of the second half, it's just given them that spring and that lift and that confidence now. And you know, the England side, they've had to do a lot of defending. They've put themselves under a lot of pressure, and you can just start to see it's taking its toll. I'm not saying there isn't a way back for them. There's still time on the clock. They still can do this to get themselves into this game, you know, take it to golden point. There's no doubt about that. But again, it's going to take, I think, something special for them, like an Atkin 40-20 again, or someone to make a line break. You know, it's going to take something special.
At the moment, the Aussies, it is, who are producing the stuff that's special out there. They've got 4 second half tries, and Gavin has possession to Bruce now. Nice ball from Bruce out the far side is to Anderson. Gets it away himself to Josh Damon, but good defence from England in the end. Yeah,
good scramble defence here from England. They created space on the outside of Australia. They shifted the point of attack very quickly from right to left. Some good quality skill shown there with the width of the passing. Ball goes out to Anderson, and he takes his man on the outside. He draws in the winger, the English winger, and it creates a 2v1 situation to put Damon away on the outside. But good scramble defence coming from the cover defence of England, and they managed to be deemed to, even though the ball was knocked out of Damon's grasp. It wasn't played at doing by the referee and touch judge. The England player was in the act of making the tackle. Didn't attempt to knock the ball out, so therefore it's head and feet at the scrum to England. So Wilson now carries the ball forward for England. And a very relieving penalty there for England.
Their first penalty of the second half for England. And how they needed that one, back on their own 20. So chances now, I guess, they'd want to score a try fairly quickly to give themselves hope of getting a second in the final 10 minutes or so. As Hines then gets us back underway, Atkin gets the ball away to Britain. Hines once again, this time Williamson with the drive. Williamson looking for the offload as always here, but driven back by 3 Australian defenders. Does get the ball away though. Little dash was from Alistair Leake. Scorer of a first half try, of course, for the hosts, who are in possession still with Bowring this time. Bowring plays it now to Hines. Support on the outside comes in the form of Barrett.
Barrett's knocked on.
Put it on the floor. He's grasped a simple pass.
Oh. Unfortunate there.
He just can't afford it, can you? 12 points down with what, less than 13 minutes to play.
And I could see what Gaz Hines, the hooker, was doing there. He jumps down the short side. It was 3v3, but because he jumped out and got past the markers, he creates a 4v3. He engaged a defender to bite on him. And actually, if Barrett catches that, it's a 3v2, because Anderson was coming in onto him as well. And engaged them 2 players, and he could have maybe put some away. But Anderson now puts away Damon. Great play off the scrum, but it's been pulled back.
Yeah, forward pass, clear forward pass as well, and Jamie Bloom right on the spot.
Didn't England need that, Jonathan?
It certainly did.
If that piece of skill is executed a little bit better, he's away there, and it's game over.
Go pick up the trophy. And Josh Damon's been kept quiet, so quiet by England today, despite the fact they're behind in the game. The first chance we've seen for him to stretch his legs. And the ball was forward.
It was good inventive play there for the Aussies. They saw that England defend the scrum with 1 on the short side. A lot of sides do this these days. Good nice
again.
line there from Collins.
Yeah, Will Collins then for England, who are desperately in search of a try now with Hines. Gets it away then to Atkin. This time it's Mark Wilson chiming in from full back, but driven back by 2 Aussie defenders. 15 minutes to find for England here. Atkin once again, this time it's with Sanders. Straightening up play towards the posts. The clock running down. And it's Alistair Leake gets it away far side again. England with a potential for overlap there, but the ball's gone loose once more.
He got ahead of food to England here. Yeah, the Australian players knocked it forward as he was going into the tackle on the English player. They did create numbers here. It would have been if the pass had stuck and hit small, he could have been away on the outside of Damon there. But the winger had to do, the Aussie winger did the right thing. He had to come in there. They had the numbers, England. He had to close the play down. That's what good wing defence is on the fringes there. You'll see, they come in to make the right read. He did that very well. But unfortunately, it's been deemed to have had a hand in. So it gives England another opportunity. Penalty to England. Head-high tackle there from the Australians. I think it's Anderson that's gone high there, yes.
And Collins.
Or it might have been Matt down.
So England then haven't scored since the 19th minute in this game, looking for their first try of the second half. Williamson, the head jolts back there in the challenge from Warburton.
And Armau gets over the top too.
Back on the field, Hughes, an acting halfback, then gets it away to Atkin. Now it's with Sanders. A metre short of this Australian line. What a fillip this would be for England if they could get across with 10 minutes remaining on the clock.
Space on the short side.
Atkin once again, long ball from Atkin. He's gone for the interception.
He's got it, Mark.
He's got it second time. And it's Waugh then. It's a foot race between Waugh and England's 24. Mark Wilson, the fullback, getting after him down this near side.
Coming across.
Waugh, with Small trying to track across and get him, will get the try in the corner. Spectacular interception effort ends this World Cup final as a contest. Australia will lift the trophy. And how spectacular, Hendo, was that?
It's a great finish to Matt Waugh, and I'll tell you something, if he doesn't take that pass, England score in the corner. Griffiths does really well. He holds his chalk right out there, the England wingman, and I said I could see the spaces on the short side here. Just unfortunately for England, Matt Waugh could see what was going to happen. He read the play. And probably what the halfback should have done is spread the little kick in behind there. He probably should have seen. If Atkin had seen that Waugh jumped out, because he shot out the line there, Waugh got up into the into the England attacking line there to take that intercept, and that's where you've got to have a little bit of vision as a halfback. You see that when you shoot up like that, just dink it in behind, you know what I mean, and hopefully either get yourself a repeat set or score a try there in the corner. But he didn't. He threw the pass, and I say Waugh was in the right position to take the intercept, and he had to do it. And to be fair to him, he knocks the ball high, and then he has to try and regather it in front of him. He done ever so well to get there, because I wasn't sure he was going to actually regather that football, but he does a good job of it and goes the length. You know, 90 metres there to score the try. It was a valiant chase back. The captain, Mark Wilson, was trying to get back there, and Small, the centre, was coming across and covered a fence, but it was all in vain, as Ward just had a hot pair of heels on him. And Wooshka, from one end of the field to the other, scores in the corner.
Yeah, hadn't scored previously in the tournament, but two
tries,
today.
yeah.
And I guess he wouldn't have been expecting to be out on the wing, because it's not the sort of position we see interchanges.
No, but the
injury to Josh Goulton earlier in the piece gave him his chance. And he's grabbed it with both hands. And a pair of tries for Matt Waugh. 5 in this second half for Australia, who've dominated since the break. And here's Bruce to try and ice the cake. He can't do so. It's not going to make any difference to the outcome, and this will be a comeback of Herculean proportions if England can turn around a 26-10 deficit in the last 8.5 minutes of play.
Yeah, I feel for England, because I thought, yeah, first half, they were certainly the first 20 minutes, they were very good, and even for the second 20 minutes, they defended, yeah, excellently, but I think they just put themselves under too much pressure. Play on. And I think it's just took its toll in the end for them. You've got to credit the Australians, you know, as soon as they got their tails up, they've just took the game to another level, haven't they? They've just raised the tempo. You know, they had the penalty given away there from Mutton and Damon, the winger, just holding on a little bit too long. And unfortunately, England just haven't had the field position or the possession to dent the Australian line.
Here's Atkin then for England, who I guess now looking for some form of consolation in this one. Britain towards the post. Australia will successfully defend their Student Rugby League World Crown and make it 4 titles to equal those of New Zealand, as James Wallace drives across the line. It is held up. And we'll get the chance to play the ball then to Hughes. Now it's out there to Leak. 2-3 green and gold shirts around him. The Australian defence just stepped up the enthusiasm and stepped up the line speed, in particular in the second half. The drive here through for England is by Chris Barrett, and he's held up.
His team's held up, is he? No, his team, yeah, he's caught him held up. Oh, unlucky there from Barrett. He got his body in a good position there to Barrett. He was, not only was he running hard, but he got his body low in a good forward momentum position. He almost get himself over the line. Oh, Atkins just had a look. He just took his eye off the ball there. He looked at the defensive line in front of him. And
disappointing finish for Atkin, because he has been probably just about the standout player for England.
Yeah, I think so. He's been at the heart of most good things that England have done today, hasn't he? He's been quite instrumental to most of their attacking play, and certainly his kicking game's been pretty good for the majority of the game.
The Aussies then, Gavin feeding the scrum, and it's with Sheehan. As the Antipodean crowd starting to celebrate across in the main north stand here at Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Anderson in possession for the green and golds. They'll play the ball to Mahoney. Powerful drive from Holmes, who stood out well first half. Mahoney once again will this time look to put the kick in. That's going to turn Billy Griffiths on that England left wing. Griffiths, of course, opened the scoring today and put England firmly in the driving seat in the first half, but it's been a different story since the break, as the shadows start to lengthen here at the Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Just over 5 minutes remain. It's been pretty tough playing in these conditions. Very hot day. So they didn't stop for a drinks break as we thought they might do, and Chris Atkin has possession for England. We'll play it then to Hughes. Now it's with Wallace. Just looks to be getting up a little bit gingerly there, Chris Atkin in back play. England with Small down the right-hand side. Last tackle of the set, says ref Jamie Bloom. The celebrations certainly start to begin far side. Atkin will put a little dink in over the top. And it's just been overrun at the back by the Aussies. Here's a chance then for England with Alistair Leake. But again, because they're playing catch-up, they've forced a ball that maybe wasn't quite on. It's been picked up by Anderson for the Australians.
Had he not been better at taking that tackle there and get the quick play of the ball, the Australian defensive line was miles away from getting back on side. They probably would have scored on the next play there, Jonathan. And again, that's that composure that we talk about. And I know they are chasing the game, so you can sort of forgive him on it, you know, but you know, it's that little bit of composure that you've got to show in these big games if you're going to come away with them.
As many a World Cup would have been won with hindsight.
Oh, good ball there. Gavin goes through.
Yeah, Gavin to Sheehan. He's got support on the outside here with Wonka, but Sheehan gets the ball away to Norford on the inside, and Bruce was supporting him.
Play on.
And a bit of a clash between the pair, really. They got in each other's way, didn't they?
Oh, they certainly did, but Jay Rossi done ever so well there. He got back, and what he did really well was he got in between Norford and his support on the inside, which was Bruce. And as Norford tried to throw the pass there, he just gets his hand in and knocks it backwards there, see? Knocks it backwards, regathers, and it gets up and plays on. Good cover defence there from the winger, Rossi.
So England in possession, looking for just something to take away from the game with them. The second half, they've been very
good play from Sanders there to Atkin. He's looking for his support. He's got no one with him.
Atkin now gets it away down the inside to Collins. Collins has got the pace on the outside. Collins will beat War.
Great try.
Collins will finish the score sheet for England for this game, you imagine, with the try in the left-hand corner. And super piece of play from Atkin in the first place. But the man to put the ball down is Will Collins, the England centre. The second try of the tournament for him, and it's Australia 26, England 14. Yeah,
great play. You put this down to Lee Sanders, the back rower on the left edge. He gets his nose through the line, gets the arm free. Great offload to Atkin in support. He's looking for his support earlier, doesn't see this, so he takes on the fullback, tries to get around him, and then luckily gets the offload to the supporting Will Collins, the centre, who arrives a little bit later on here. As you can see, Atkins, he goes, jinks, takes on the fullback, bumps, gets the offload to the supporting Will Collins, who arrives finally. A great play from Collins too. He takes on his man War on the outside, says, you know what, I'm going to take you on the outside, son. As we saw in the first half, he did it to Goulton and got on the outside of him and created a good line break. He backs himself again on this occasion, and this time he scores. A nice finish here, and a good finish for England.
Yeah, one of the best tries, if not the, of the final. And an extra 2 points as well then from the boots of Chris Atkin, which reduces that deficit slightly. It's still Australia 26, England 16.
It's a very slow walk up for the restart from the Aussies, isn't it? They're not in any hurry to get this kick off. They don't want to give England any opportunity of getting something out of this game, with it being a 10-point ball game. It's a very slow walk. I don't know whether... Has the referee stopped the clock? Yes, he has. You can see what he's trying to do.
So Bruce then restarts play for Australia, though, inside the final couple of minutes here. And it's been, well, a very entertaining encounter, some great skills from both these sides.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great game to watch, really enjoyed it. We've got to see England chance their arm here. They're going to have to try and promote the football as much as they can, try and shift the points of attack. Now, the Australian defence line very, very tight here. They've got to go wide, shift it. They've got to go shift on the keep going here.
It was Bowering for England. He'll play it then to Hughes. Looking for a way through and just to make that scoreline look a little bit less comfortable for Australia. The try for England.
They get to pack the scrum.
Now scrum going to pack down. England make sure they get their men there. Clock will stop. I always wonder why, when there's a minute to go and you're 10 points behind, there is that much enthusiasm. But maybe it's, does the coach take you in the dressing room after a game and say, why didn't you show any enthusiasm for that scrum in the last minute when you clearly couldn't win the game anyway?
I don't know. I suppose it's well, you want
just a gesture.
I don't know. You want to finish the game strong, don't you? And England, obviously, here they want to try and get an opportunity. Has he gone for a 40-20 here?
No, it's Atkins kick through, intended down this near side for Billy Griffiths. Yeah, picked up by his opposite number in Matt War, and of course the green and golds. You'd expect him to just
play out this
slow this down, play it nice and slow, up your jumper time. Josh Damon it was in possession then. Australia tries in the second half from Wonka, from Warburton, 2 from Matt Waugh, including that spectacular interception that effectively ended the game of the contest, and one in between from Casey Bromilo when he spun and pirouetted his way across the England line. Just one response on Will Collins just a few moments ago, having seen Billy Griffiths and Alistair Leake give England the lead by 10 points to 0 at half-time. But a superb second half display here from the Australians will see them retain the Student Rugby League World Cup.
Here it is.
And there goes the final hooter. Gavin boots the ball out of play near side. The Aussies hold their arms aloft and hug each other. They are the champions of the world of Student Rugby League.
Fantastic game of rugby league that was, Jonathan. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It brings a climatic conclusion to the Festivals of World Cup 2013, and again a fantastic build-up for what is to come. It whets the appetite for what is to come here live on Premier Sports in October, the International Rugby League World Cup. And again, the Australians absolutely enjoying every minute of this as they embrace each other and their coaching staff and non-playing staff. Disappointment for England. I thought they gave a good performance. Great first half. For me, they just probably put themselves under too much pressure. You know, the back end of that first half, they gave away a lot of penalties. They had to defend their goal line time after time. You know, waves and waves of pressure being put on them. They absorbed it all. Defended well, going with a 10-0 lead at half-time, but it was the start of that second half that just lost them the game. You know, Australia came out, 2 quick-fire tries, boom, boom. They take it forward, 12-10, and then it was always a tough fight for England there on.
So fantastic final. Australia win by 26 points to 16. Let's get across pitch side to Natalie, who I think is with Matt Waugh.
Matt, congratulations, World Cup winners. I suppose it makes all the training and the travelling worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. It's probably been the best 3 weeks of my life so far. So to top it off with this with the boys is just unbelievable.
Brilliant try from you. I know you're probably just getting your breath back from it.
I'm the slowest swinger in history, so it was a long way to go, but yeah, I'm stoked that they couldn't catch me.
A completely different kind of second half from you guys from the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was what we talked about. We went in the sheds, like we hadn't stuck to the plan in the first half, and we'd sort of got into England's game. But coming out of the sheds, our big boys just took it forward, and from there, yeah, we just took it on for the win.
You've had some great supporters here in full voice. Has that been what it's been like for the past 2 weeks?
Yeah, we got real tight with the Scottish boys. They've been unreal. We just, I guess the nature of all staying in the same hotel, you get pretty close with the boys. Yeah, it's been sick.
Well done.
Thanks so much. Thanks for your time.
Okay, thanks, Nat. Matt Waugh, a very, very delighted Australian star of this Student Rugby League World Cup final. 26 points to 16 they've won here at the Headingley Carnegie Stadium. Join us for more analysis and reaction right after the break. Fantastic final here at the Headingley Carnegie Stadium to the Student Rugby League World Cup. Australia have run out 26 points to 16 winners. Commiserations to the England side, who certainly battled hard, and they had a real tough semi-final, which might have just taken the edge off them before this final. You would have known so at half-time. But Australia's Mick Gavin will go up and receive his awards from local MP Greg Mulholland, and Hendo's still with me. Cameron Bruce walking through there, and how those Aussie halfbacks really guided the team around the park in the second half.
Yeah, for me it was just, I think it was more of a case of England inviting Australia back into it, because first half I think England were the dominant side. They certainly took their opportunities and played their field position a lot better. I think the kicking game was good from Atkin. You know, they put themselves under a lot of pressure come the back end of that first half, you know, I mean, where they had to defend their own goal line and stuff like that. But Australia's second half, a real dominant display. They got on top, and once they got that lead, they didn't look back, did they? They didn't look back. We see now the dignitaries as coaching staff and support staff receiving their medals, and I think we'll soon see the captain, Gavin, it is the standoff, I think, is it? Oh no, Mutton, the loose forward, is the captain.
Yeah, we're looking for Luke Mutton then to go up and take this World Cup trophy with England looking on, I guess, with that little bit of envy. It's the 4th time Australia will have lifted the Student Rugby League World Cup. They were the holders coming into this tournament, and they have successfully defended their title. And number 13 and loose forward, Luke Mutton,
who had a very
is the last man forward.
He had a very tenacious defensive display today, did Mutt, didn't he?
And he can't wait to get his mitts on the Student Rugby League World Cup of 2013. Luke Mutton holds that trophy aloft. Australia are the world champions.
They certainly are. Congratulations to Australia. 2013 Student Rugby League World Cup winners.
And the champagne will flow. It's been a tremendous couple of weeks of rugby league football. Let's not forget, it's not just about the Student Rugby League World Cup final, but we've had the Leeds tournaments, the women's tournament, the wheelchair tournament, and the Armed Forces tournament. 4 of those world titles are held by the Aussies. The French, of course, won the wheelchair tournament against England on Saturday. And the big one now, it's really whet our appetites for the big one coming up in the autumn, when New Zealand will go into the Rugby League World Cup itself as the holders. Australia will be desperate to get that trophy back, and England will fancy their chances as the dark horses and hosts of that particular competition. But as far as this one's concerned,
and let's not forget about Scotland either, Jonathan. I think they'd like to fancy their chances in the Rugby League World Cup. Just saying. But let's take nothing away from this. The World Cup champions for the student game, Australia 2013. And there they are in front of the Premier Sports cameras, enjoying every minute of it, enjoying their success. Had a very successful campaign, Jonathan, didn't they? They smashed the group stages, conceded 26 points, and let's be honest, only 16th day they conceded 26 points the whole group stages in the semi-final, and they've come in here in a fantastic second half display, as their coach Grant Stevenson pointed out. You know, they just had that fitness in the end told, and just their quality told in the end.
Thanks, Hendo. It's been a great tournament. We've really enjoyed ourselves in the commentary box. Let's get across now pitch side once again to Natalie.
Well, Mark, unfortunately,